This podcast contains mature themes, questionable humor, and explicit language. Listen with discretion. Please take care. Welcome to Dialogue Over Drama, episode 27. Are we on 27?
27.
27. Holy cow. I am Dialogue Danny, and I am here with Courtney Drama, and I'm just going to throw her on the spot right now because she is an amazing artist, which will be soon kind of showing you some of the art, even like most of the art that you see on our page is created by her. I just want to talk about, you just went down and did an art crawl in a big city where it's something that's started off as a very small, intimate, really cool art gathering, and now has become this weird kind of oversaturated, everyone in the world kind of thing. And your experience, because it's been how many years from when you went down to art crawl to, like, how many years was the gap between when you first went to when you went recently?
8 or 9 years ago.
Oh, has it been that long? Holy shit.
Yeah. And it's been about 8 or 9 years, and I used to do it, the art crawl. It was always the second Friday of the month in the downtown core. And when I did it, I was selling like my original paintings.
You sold one of my favorite things you ever did, and I was so upset that
I know. You know what? I actually might redo that one, though.
That Donnie Darko one was so cool.
Yeah, it was really good. The bunny or whatever it's called. But yeah, no, I sold some original pieces, which was kind of cool. It was interesting to talk and connect with people, but it was nowhere near as busy as it was this past Friday. So rejoining the community of it was quite an eye-opener, and it really made me realize just how many people are in Hamilton. And when I was down there on Friday, I actually started to think a little bit about maybe some of the reasons why. Obviously, a lot of people are moving to Hamilton, maybe from Toronto way, whatever. I was like, okay, that could be part of it. And then the other part I thought about was like, where are all these people coming from? And I'm not saying that you can't do art. It just, again, it blew my mind within a matter of like 8 or 9 years to just see the amount of vendors set up. And I was like,
how much would you say was actually people creating original art? Like, what percentage do you think? From what you could see, I know you didn't leave your booth much.
Yeah, from what I could see down the streets, either way, like, I would still say a good 80 to 90%.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot of great stuff. The coolest thing I saw was a guy who made all of these different pieces of, like, toys and games from, like, old chunks of wood. But, like, it wasn't really carved out wood. It was kind of more in its natural kind of state. And that was really interesting to see. Like, there were some really cool pieces.
Oh, nice.
There was someone who was making earrings out of old band covers, album covers.
Very cool.
That was kind of neat. Like, there was some really nice stuff that I liked. But I think for me, it was just more of, like, just how many there were. Then I started to think about, like, okay, so I said, okay, yeah, population for sure. And I was like, I wonder if it was COVID.
People got into hobbies?
Yeah.
Do you think it's people getting into hobbies, which is like the more positive thing, and me wanting to always go to the negative? I'm just like, do you think it's a lot of people are just broke and they just have been fed this? If you have a side thing, you're going to become super famous on social media and then never have to work again.
It's a good mix.
Okay.
It's a good mix because when I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to get back into it. I've got my digital art. I'm going to just have my prints and just get a feel for it. Like I said, it's been 8, 9 years since I used to do it. I'm just going to try it. And when I went on TikTok and Instagram and I started searching up specifically like our city's art crawl, I started seeing a lot of people that were using social media as a way to really push their exposure to make money. Like, you know, which good on them, whether they work day jobs or not, I don't know. And then there's another good mix of people that are like, this is what pays my rent.
Right.
And I'm like, how come?
So here's the thing. You know what? That's one expression I wish I could like eliminate from my thing. So here's the thing, because it just sounds so condescending.
I mentioned it to you before.
I know you have. And you know what? When I edit these things, whenever I hear that, I'm like, it's terrible. Like, and I'm literally not saying it as a, like, so here's what it is. I'm literally like in my brain thinking of how I want to say my first sentence, and that's a long enough expression
but the person
that gives me the
receiving
time.
it sounds so like negating to what I just said. Like, you're great.
Yeah, and you know that whatever
you're wrong. Let me tell you what
but you know whatever I say after that, it's like, so here's the thing. You're absolutely right, but I think that you know there's a weird
idea light bulb moment. We have a new segment that we're going to kind of introduce to add into this mix.
Yeah.
And I think the name of it, for what it is, would actually be "Here's the Thing, Danny."
So here's the thing.
Or Danny says, "Here's the thing."
It's so here's the thing, Danny. Yeah, that works. Yeah. I wanted to go Uncle Danny's mailbox because I wanted to do the old 90s, like, we're opening up the mailbox.
I really think "Here's the Thing" is a little bit more
you're
fitting.
right. Okay, yeah, that works. That's well done. Well done.
And if you want some cookies, you get some cookies. And if you want me to do services and favors for you, I will do them.
Yes, you will. And you did me a favor by giving me such a better idea. Now I need to come up with a theme song for it. Okay, that'll be super exciting. So what I wanted to ask you is this. So here's the thing. In the past, I've always been like, no, there's a difference between a real artist and an artist that's just trying to, like, they're trying to portray themselves in an artist and they're not really an artist. Mm-hmm. And I kept trying to, like, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be negative because I think there's good that can come from both.
That episode?
I have no clue, but I know we've touched, but
if
you and I have talked about it over the last, like, 5 years.
No, for sure, but I was going to say, we definitely had a whole thing. It actually might be one of our earlier episodes.
It is one of our earlier episodes, I believe. One of the released earlier episodes. And so now that you kind of, like, as an adult went back into that core of seeing, like, what's everything around, do you kind of get what I'm saying now? Mm-hmm. That, like...
Yeah. And like I said, there was a lot of really good stuff, and there was a lot of stuff that I thought was like... So here's the thing. There was a lot... It's a lot of self-expression. And part of me feels like, who am I to judge how you express yourself?
But do you find it very...
But because it was so oversaturated, like, I got there so early in the afternoon to get a decent spot to set up. But then the crowd that I need to generate traction and conversation with, unfortunately, don't come out until later in the evening. Also, It's a really hot day. But I just feel like the crowd that I'm trying to engage with, like... It might have taken them, like, a few tokes or drinks to really be like,
your art was not people that cruise downtown Hamilton streets before the lights are on. Like, the crowd that's going to really enjoy your art is people that are like, oh, the street lights are on. Now we're going out to play. Like, you like the after hours crowds. Like that's your art. Someone that's on their way carrying their, like, little bonsai box in their lunch bag that works in an office just up the street at, like, our, like, city center isn't going to look at your, like, person with a ball gag in and be like, I will take that home tonight while eating my non-seasoned chicken breast.
Because when I sold those prints,
your crowd,
when I sold a couple of prints, that's when it was like, no, it was in the dark. It was people on their way home.
That's what I mean.
Or people that were going out specifically for that. Anyways, it's changed a lot. For what I had, it felt like I had a lot to compete with. But also,
I don't think art's ever a competition.
No, not compete with, but no, you're right. That's a bad word because I think my art will speak to the right person. That's the person that will buy it. I think also this is the thing. My art also, like, I'm not somebody who's, like, diagnosed as, like, a neurodivergent person, but I feel like a lot of my art speaks to that, and a lot of, like, who I am in talking to people I relate really well with. And so I think, because in the community group on Facebook for this art crawl, everyone was talking about how overstimulating it was.
Right.
And I think that's the word. It was so overstimulating that, like, me as a vendor couldn't enjoy myself. And if my art speaks to the people and I want them to enjoy themselves and they can't, I kind of, like, lost my audience in that moment. And I think that's why then maybe as the night calmed down, I drew a different crowd, I guess. I don't know.
When you can engage with people, that's the thing. Like, I always find that, like, so years of playing music, it's an amazing thing to play to, like, a big Irish pub with like the wooden floor where you can hear every foot stomp, and there's like 150 people in the room, and everyone's with you, everyone's shouting out, like you, before the song, you're like, shout out this, when this, and then when that part comes up, they shout to you. There's something amazing about that in a crowd, where it's just a wash of people that are just really into what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And then there's something really fascinating about sitting on a stool on level ground at like a Legion with like 15 people that you can be like, hey, what song do you like? Oh, I like Johnny Cash. Oh, what Johnny Cash song do you want me to play? And like, I get the same, like, people are enjoying the show that they're getting for completely different reasons, but they really like what's there. So that's why I don't think art's really a competition. Like, when it comes to, like, that crowd where you have a bunch of people screaming out, look at me, the fact that people, even though you said no one bought, the fact that people had so much around them, but still you spent the whole time engaging with people that were at your table, speaks to your art.
Right.
It's not about money at that point.
People bought it.
I mean, like, in the beginning of the day, when the
I felt
daytime is what I mean.
defeated. Yeah.
But, like, that's why I told you, like, even before you went, what was the advice I gave you? The only advice I gave you when you went to Art Crawl.
Listen.
Yeah,
and I did, and I got a lot of interesting feedback. I got to hear what people thought about the Art Crawl as a whole, what people thought about, like, what they were seeing and noticing, it was just, it was
my favorite story you told me when you got back home from Art Crawl, you can probably tell the story better than I am, so I will pass it off to you, is you were like, one of the really cool things that happened a couple times was when a group of people walk past, and complete that story if you...
one person would stop, the rest of the friend group kept walking, and then they would, like, call to their friend to come back to look at something that they thought they'd like.
Yeah.
Like, and then they talk about it.
It's the best feeling in the world.
There was one husband and wife that walked past, and then the wife stopped and then called her husband over, and then I don't know what she said, but they were laughing. So I was like, okay, and then it sounded like they were talking about, like, what they saw reminded them of somebody. So I was like, oh, did I just happen to draw someone that looks like someone they know, but they were laughing about it? And it was just a weird interaction, but I was like, oh, okay. But then they didn't make eye contact with me after. That was the weird thing.
Because they were embarrassed, because they probably thought, oh, we just pointed at this, where it's like some, like, ball gag, like, thing.
No, they're pointing at a different one. I couldn't see which one exactly it was.
But you have to think, like, now, oh, she knows that we did this.
I don't think it's that print.
Oh, okay.
I just said, no, it was something else. It was, like, one of the, like, pinup girls that I did. Like, I think something different. It wasn't that one.
Interesting.
But at least some people would look and then look at me and then say something afterwards. Like, anyway, it doesn't matter.
You have such I love the fact that you had that engagement.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you had that engagement with people, because I think that's what art crawl's really about. Like, if you go in there thinking, especially like free art crawls where, like, especially a smaller community, because that's what I told you to do, is go to a smaller community and do your art there. You get more of that engagement. You can find out what people like. You find out what people are willing to pay for what you're doing. So, because you don't want to overcharge, you don't want to undercharge. So all that said, I guess we're on to, So here's the thing.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. I have been seeing a lot on social media lately. Everybody seems to be concerned about gut health and holistic wellness with clean food and aging better. And I'm really curious to know what your take is on that.
That's a really loaded question. That's a really, really loaded question.
Do you think what do you think gut health is?
I think gut health is just people making sure that what's on the inside of them is just healthy. I just think overall just healthy, like eating healthy is what you're supposed to do. Everybody knows you're supposed to eat healthy, right? Mm-hmm. So here's my problem with an article like that, because I assume it's an article that you're like reading from. I just think it's so just stop it when it comes to these, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. Oh, you need to eat healthy. That's what you need to do. People know they need to eat healthy, but either because they can't afford to eat healthy, or they just don't have the skill set to be able to go and cook healthily, so they go buy what they think is healthy at a store, because everyone's cutting corners in like restaurants, that it's not as healthy as you would assume it would be by what you're reading is healthy. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's this whole clusterfuck of so many reasons why you want to do it, because we're caught up in the vanity of articles like that. Like, even when you just read that, there was one thing that really didn't make sense to me that was in there, where it was more about vanity than it was about personal health. Like, what was there was like,
people are overly concerned about gut health and holistic wellness and clean food and aging better.
Aging better. There we go. So I think the aging better is enough of when you think of aging better as a person, when people like do what do you think of the word, like, give me the first thing that pops into mind? Dog, cat, like, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. When I say, what's the first thing that pops into my head when I'm like, aging better? You're like, no wrinkles, my face doesn't show anything.
I thought no stroke and heart attack by 40.
See,
I thought when it comes to aging better, it's, I think, beating the statistics of people who don't eat healthy and the risks that they have when they age. So I think aging better is...
I think people are more willing to put more effort into making sure they look good than actually feeling good and having a healthy body. That I think that it skews all the data that people that actually want to be healthy when it comes to reading those things. It's like, are you peddling the same shit you're peddling to people that just don't want to have, like, laugh lines? Like, what are you peddling?
I think the thing that I see a lot online is more of, like, it is a mix of both. It's definitely they want to look good. They want to age slower. But I think it's very much equal to how they feel. Like, they want to feel better. Which, to me, like, that's where I get a little bit lost on how, like, increasingly concerned people are getting about that. Because to me, I'm like, I feel better when I've had 2 poops a day.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, gut health means I'm regular.
Right.
Gut health means that I don't have stomach aches from eating certain foods, or like I'm maybe cautious of what I eat to not upset my stomach.
Do you understand that there's like a whole culture of people, mostly male, I would assume, that they just live life thinking like it as long as they can get through the day and it's not overbearing, not feeling comfortable is just normal. There's just a whole group of people, like, even like yesterday, like, I went through just extreme uncomfort. Like, I worked in such an unhealthy environment yesterday, did all of that, and it's just like, I didn't even think twice about it.
Right.
And, like, I take that environment and put it to, like, you having fun in the exact same environment where I'm working. Mm-hmm. Like, it would just knock you the fuck out. Like, there's just some people that, like, for some reason, like, stuff just doesn't, as long as I wake up tomorrow, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely would say that I think it's a lot more women that are concerned about how their body and their mind and their gut health and, like, all that stuff, and, like, making sure that they age properly. Like, I saw a TikTok the other day, and this girl was like, a lot of people have been making comments about guessing my age, and they think I'm in my 40s, and I'm not even in my 30s yet. And she was pulling at her face and playing with her hair, and she's like, so can people tell me, like, I'm just genuinely curious, like, my feelings won't be hurt. I just need to understand, why do people think I'm in my 40s? And everyone's talking about, her jowls. She's got, the way that her face hangs. Or the distance between her nose and her lip. I guess as age and time goes on, your lip starts to lower. So that ages you. So, like, they were pointing out characteristics about this person's face as to why she looks the age that she does. People were saying hair color. They're saying this, that. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding? And I'm like, is maybe what like her age actually does look like? I mean...
Do you want me to blow your mind? I'm going to absolutely blow your mind. And on that topic, like, when it comes to, like, wanting to protect yourself, I think that women, like, this is a very bold statement. I am not getting into gender. I'm just saying females on a whole get judged on the way they look for their age. Males, I think, for, like, in-person meeting, get judged on their attitude. Men are judged on their confidence. Like, you can be an ugly motherfucker and be super confident, and then you look like you're younger.
You meant attitude. You said attitude initially.
Well, attitude as well. Like, and confidence is your attitude, right?
Yeah, confidence can come across cocky, though. Because you can be confident with a shit attitude.
I was talking about this with Asshole Kevin the other day. I was saying, we were talking about respect. And I was saying, there's some times where, because we were talking about, like, can you command respect, demanding respect, earn respect, you know, like we were going through all the different aspects of what respect is. Mm-hmm. And I was saying, like, there's times that I, like, command respect in a way, and it's normally when, like, I'm, like, if I'm in a room bartending alone with 100 people in the room and there's, like, a live band on, right? When I go out to collect glasses or grab a couple bags of chips or get stock or change, you know, like toilet paper or whatever, when I walk out into that crowd, I'm walking different. Mm-hmm. And then asshole Kevin's like, you absolutely are. He's like, you like walk around with the, like, you're super friendly, but don't fuck with me attitude. And then Kevin added on to that by saying, one of the things that you do all the time in the room is like that, is he's like, you every, like, couple minutes, stop what you're doing and you scan the room and you look at everything that's going on and then go back to what you're doing. He's like, everyone in that room knows that you know what's going on.
Right.
So we just went into the debate of, like, respect. It was just a really interesting conversation about, like, how male, because, like, so many people think, to go back to the point that we were talking about before, how the person that you saw was, like, in her 20s and people thought she was 40. I'm mid-40s, and when I was, like, 34, people thought I was 39. Now I'm 44, and people think I'm 34 or 36.
So you think it's important to take care of your gut health and eat clean to try and age better?
I've done nothing but fucking drink beer for the last bunch of years, so I don't, like, I don't know, like, I don't eat a lot of junk, like, I have my vices, but, like, I'm not,
You just don't eat at all, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's another very big thing. So, I don't know, it's an interesting topic. I think when it comes to gut health, would I read that article? No. I just think that it's a bunch of stuff that
do you think it would take something, like, catastrophic to happen to you, where, like, so let's say right now you have an intolerance to dairy, and then for some fucked up reason, like, it grows. You start having intolerances to other things, but you don't know what yet. So you're in your investigative state because you eat something so broad that it could be a singular ingredient in it, right? Would you then start to be concerned about your gut health and go and investigate, like, maybe playing process of elimination? Would you care?
You know what's funny is I actually thought about this the other day. I think that in my life that I'm just going to live my life the way I want to live my life. Like, I want to get better in every way possible, right? But I think that if something catastrophic happened where I'm like, oh, holy shit, I really don't know what's best for my body, I think I would be so submissive to everything else until I wasn't again. If that makes sense. I'm the kind of person where, just say that I got the Parkinson's, like the disease that I am just horrified of, like one of my biggest fears. You know, like, we're going to try these chemicals and injections and stuff like that. I would trust up until the point where they're like, we're going to try and we think this might make things better. And I'm like, nope.
Okay, no, I get that.
That's where I'm saying I would be
But that's an irreversible condition. I'm talking about something more of like dietary. You're just like, I keep shitting myself.
I'm 44. There's not much, like...
Look, let me give my example. Like I said,
okay, shoot.
You're shitting yourself, and you're like, I don't know why. I'm not eating dairy. I don't know what it is. So based on what you just said, with a disease, we're talking about dietary here with gut. Parkinson's has nothing to do with your gut. You be submissive to that, to do whatever you need to do to figure out what the root of it is. And then let's say they're like, fuck, we found out it's potatoes. And you're like, shit, it sucks. They give you something for it, and then maybe, like, it goes, like, would you just revert back to the way that you were?
No, I'd be like, okay, hey, I'm fucked up on potatoes, and I can't eat potatoes anymore. Okay, fuck it, I won't eat potatoes anymore. I think what I would ask is, what is it in the potato that I'm allergic to? Is it the starch? Is it the enzymes?
Yeah, I know.
Is it that? Yeah. And then I would, like, eliminate that from my
diet.
But
that's what I mean. So you'd be concerned enough about gut health if it came to something that was...
No, I would just, like,
giving
it's the annoyance, because I want to live life. Mm-hmm. I know I have one life in this world, and I know life is so short that, like, I'm not going to inconvenience my life out of things that I enjoy unless the joy doesn't surpass the pain that I'm in.
So that's why you're going to eat cheese tonight.
100%. That's exactly my point.
And I get to suffer the consequences.
No, I'm with you, so I suffer the same consequences when you're like, blizzards are 2 for like 1 right now. We should get like 4 blizzards. So like over the course of the next 2 weeks, there was like, I buy blizzard, blop, blop,
Stop.
blop. You're so gross. And because it's so hot right now, we have the air conditioner fucking filtering the fart, blowing it into the fan, which is blowing it back into the air conditioner, which is blowing it back into the fan, which is blowing it back into the air conditioner.
Who is it?
Dave, man, let me in. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man, let me in. I got the stuff.
Dave's not here.
I love it when you act. I love it when I get you to act. It is the best.
I'm not.
And the worst thing ever.
I can't sing. I can't dance. I can't act.
I can't sing. I can't act. It is the worst. Who is it? You kill me. You absolutely kill me.
It is who you are.
So, who are you? Who goes there? No. I am not the Queen of England. What the fuck are you talking about?
What was that from? Is that Cheech and Chong?
Yes, that is an old Cheech and Chong skit,
funny.
which is just amazing. The who? It's just the best. So, which leads us into what I want to talk about today. I want to do the opening segment just strictly on, it's kind of like if it pleases the court, but fuck it. It's not a if it pleases the court. We're going to do commentary over something super fun right now. Are you ready for this? So here we go. We are going through old PSA commercials for the drug that you are currently legally partaking in the country of Canada that we are in. So this is something that used to play in the 90s.
Hello, my name's Penny. I think people shouldn't do drugs. They can make you forget things, like which animals have stripes. And your body might get clumsier, so you can't jump rope as good.
She looks so
Drugs
fucking
can get in
big.
big trouble. You could go to principal's office or go to jail. Then you can't watch TV or eat pizza. Recess is good. Hamsters are good. Birthday parties are real good. Drugs are bad. I wouldn't do drugs.
And she looks ripped out of her mind. Her eyes are bloodshot. Also, I know she's a child, so they're obviously gauging to children.
Well, because kids were doing like pot, so they were like, you know what, don't do pot because then you won't be able to go on a recess. That's amazing. Like, don't do drugs. Like, it's just, it's crazy how scary they thought marijuana was back in the day.
Yeah.
So they would spend
And
a
you
lot.
might forget what animals have stripes.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Pretty sure only one does.
Okay, no, there's tons of animals that have stripes.
I'm just going with a
There's
zebra.
a liger. A liger has one.
Oh, a tiger has stripes too.
Yeah, 100%. There's tons of animals. There's tons of animals that have stripes. Are you insane?
I guess that commercial's right.
Like, think of fish.
Oh, like the zebrafish.
Yep. There's the zebrafish. We'll go with that one.
Clownfish.
Clownfish? They don't have stripes. But
Yeah, Finding Nemo does.
Finding Nemo has stripes.
Orange and white. And he's a clownfish.
Speaking of, like, smoking weed, have you ever heard the theory that the Finding Nemo movie is literally that Nemo died and his dad's just not able to do with it and is just in shock and he's, like, living this fake life and that's the world that he thought happened for his son Nemo?
Who the fuck was Dory talking to?
And yeah, because Dory needs a credible thing to not prove she's crazy in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that's my stone thought for the moment. Okay, you ready for the next one? I got 3 for you.
Okay.
This one is kind of my favorite one that I found.
I get angry just thinking about it makes me mad. Little kids doing drugs, it turns my stomach. That stuff hurts. It stops you from living up to your potential. It holds you back. It hurts the user. It hurts his family. And it hurts his friends. I just want to shake some sense into you kids that are using drugs and think about using. So remember, don't, or else. Okay?
You tell me he's not on drugs during that commercial.
I don't think I have anything to say to that.
Well, the fact that they're threatening violence to kids who would have been watching the A-Team at the time with Mr. T.
Mr. T's gonna come and kick down your door.
I really like Mr. T. You know what my favorite Mr. T story is? Here's another stone thought. My favorite Mr. T thing is Mr. T had cancer for a while, and he had T-cell lymphoma. He's like, of course Mr. T got Tifo. So, like, of course Mr. T got T-cell lymphoma. It's named after me. It was bound to be right. Like, he just, like, he embraced it. He got through it, but, like, he was, like, he just always has a positive attitude. He's always like, you respect your mother. Like, he was always such a good, healthy vibe, and he was like a bouncer and shit. Like, I don't know any, like, I don't know if he has a dark side or whatever, but I always really liked Mr. T. I always wanted to meet Mr. T. I don't even know if he's still alive. Anyways, so here's the last one that I found. You ready for this one? I vividly remember this commercial from when I was a kid.
Okay.
Like, vividly remember this commercial.
I'm not saying he's a loser or anything.
He's a dork.
Dork! Yeah. I mean, no. We're not like, you know, we're having fun being cool, and he's just in a different stop. Well, I hang out with my friends mostly.
Girls think I'm cool.
But he's, you know, I'm into sports. Well, I used to be into sports, but now,
Yeah, chicks dig me.
well, yeah, I guess he has friends too. You know, I think having girlfriends is okay, but you know, we like to party, right? Guys like him, they don't like to party like we do. You know, we're having a lot of fun.
Truth is, there's a million things to do that are more fun than sitting around getting stoned.
Yeah, we like to party. Did I say that already?
Think about it. A message.
My favorite thing about that is, like, the thing that, like, you heard that, like, hockey horn go off. It's like, losers, can you spot the losers? Like, it's trying to trash the botheads.
It's funny.
What's super funny is, in retrospect, that group of teenagers that's, like, hanging out in that car smoking weed, probably wrote amazing music in the 90s in their garage that everyone paid millions of dollars to, like, go see.
Yeah. I don't know. That commercial is just, it's what I grew up with. That's like the typical, I've probably seen that commercial. It's just
it is a 90s commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
100%. So, like, it's weird when you think about, like, the whole anti-drug thing. Like, we're going to get into it right now. Drugs. I think we've briefly talked about drugs, obviously, in the podcast, but, one of the things, for me, I'll get into my drug use. I didn't really smoke weed until I was 28. Like, I tried other drugs, but, like, weed was just one of those things that, like, I just never wanted anything to do with. Like, I never really, like, after I tried weed, I was like, oh, I'll try different things, but nothing ever, I don't know, I wasn't interested. I just wasn't, I was like, nope, I'm gonna lie and tell people I did smoke weed and I didn't want to, and that was the thing. And then weed became more of a medical thing for me, and then I realized the other avenues that it could open.
Like?
Music, the way I heard music, the way that I could come up with ideas that were, I could lock myself into a state of frame where, with all the chaos in my life, it would allow me to focus on the things that I really wanted to focus on. Like, you see me when I get home and I'm like, okay, I'm going to smoke a doob, I'm going to have a beer. And then, like, I'm just a fountain of ideas. Everything just starts pouring out of the creativity in me. Mm-hmm. And, like, when I'm not high, like, I can do that, but it's so much effort and it becomes fake because I feel like I'm so distracted that I need to fill in the gaps that are distraction with shit that's not great.
Yeah. I get that. When it comes to the creative side of it, I really like smoking a little bit when I'm being creative, but also okay with wasting time. Because I think the biggest thing for me is I like where it takes my brain, but I also get absolutely nowhere.
See, yeah, that's a big one for me is, like,
the ideas flow, and then I need a balance. Like, I could probably, like, take a couple of tokes where I know that it'll wear out of my system a little bit quicker than if I was to smoke, like, a whole joint. Or, like, consume a certain levels of, like, consume a certain amount of milligrams, then I'm done for. Like, I'm looking to just shut off at that point.
For me,
it's balance. It's balance.
For me, weed, I know that when I'm smoking, when I'm high, I will never really, like, accomplish anything.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So for me, what weed is like weed and my cell phone's notebook where I can keep track of notes. That's where weed benefits me. Is I'm one of those people where I realize I don't need drugs to accomplish the art that I want to do. I need weed to give me an idea so when I'm so stressed out, it refreshes my brain to a point where I want to be creative but am sober-minded enough to accomplish the thing I wanted to while I was stoned.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it does. And stone thought in me just wants to go to the fact that I'm like, something just registered in my head where I'm like, oh, when was that shift? I'm so proud of you that you do your notes in your phone, because I remember a time where you would just use your phone for the sake of texting, and then you would write everything down. You had notes everywhere all the time.
Like pieces of paper.
Yeah, because you're not a bad texter. You just have fucking big thumbs.
Right.
So, like, I've watched you text, and it frustrates me.
Well, this is the thing. Like, we went through it a couple episodes ago, like probably like 10 episodes ago, where I read through my notes, where I was like, it's just all broken English. That
no,
like,
but it works for you.
It is.
It
awesome. Works for me because, like, all I need is just the gist of an idea, because, like, I don't need to write out what I need to do. I just need to have this stone thought that I'm like, this is so interesting and I'd love to be able to expand on this more, or this idea to do something. But I'm like, I know that I can't do it right now because it would take me so much effort. I would be super angry with the outcome because it wouldn't be the way that I know I could do it sober.
Yeah.
So, like, I love taking stoned ideas and then putting those ideas into practice while I'm sober.
Right.
So it's like I'll come to you and I'll spit an idea out at you. Like, I'll be like, I'm going to create this comedy movie tomorrow. I'm going to do a 5-minute, like, short film. And, like, I'm stoned as shit. And you're like, no, you're not. Mm-hmm. And I wake up the next morning and I make the film. Like, it's just, I love that ability where, like, when I'm sober and I'm like, I want to create right now. What am I going to do? Like, I've seen you sit beside me where, like, you bring out a canvas, you bring out all your paints, and you have all your brushes, and you're just ready to go, and you're like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Right.
What should I do? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start with a color. What color should I do?
I know. It can definitely be too much.
Where, like, that's why I love having the jump-off point to make sober me want to do those things.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
It does. It does, yeah. Do you ever think, like, because you used to do the sober months.
Yep.
You haven't in a long time.
I actually think that very soon I'm going to go, I think I'm not going to do a sober month. I'm going to do, like, I'm going to have X amount of beers every day.
Oh, I was talking about weed.
Weed, no.
Because we're talking about drugs, not alcohol.
There's no point when it comes to weed that I want to. My sobriety lies in with, I've been drinking a lot less than I have been in the past. Like, I'm drinking a shitload less. And I'm liking the way I'm feeling from drinking a shitload less. So I kind of want to set myself, like, a limit, being like, this is where you need to go. Because, like, even last night, like, I was still watching, like, this documentary, and I was like, I really want another beer. I'm looking at this beer, and I'm like, I want this beer. And then that's the beer right there that I didn't open. Like, I was just like, I'm not going to open this, because I wrestle with it all the time. I open a beer. How many times have you come in and there's a beer and there's a sip out of it and it's a full can?
Do you ever, yeah, that happens a lot. But do you ever get to the point where you're like, I don't want to open another beer because it's only, like, I don't want to have to drink all this extra liquid when it's only 4%?
No, never. Because I'm always, like, when I'm drinking beer, it's because, like, I'm thirsty and I'm like, I know that having the muscle relaxant from the alcohol is just benefiting me. Because, like, when I come home, like, I'm either really into music and I'm drinking beer and I'm just getting excited, or, like, at night when it's, like, you're in bed and, like, I'm talking post-midnight is where I wrestle with those demons. Because that's the alcohol has always been a problem and the weed's always been a problem post-midnight. Mm-hmm. Because I embrace that 12 to 4 a.m. so much.
Are there nights where you're like you're looking to get drunker, so you'll go for something stronger?
No, never. Because, like, honestly, what keeps me, I don't want to be drunk. I never like being drunk.
Yeah.
I just like walking that fine line of, like,
Because beer
I'm
and
relaxed
water
enough.
and energy drinks is the only 3 forms of liquid that your body gets.
Yeah, but I drink way more water than any of those two.
Obviously, because you drink more hours where you have to be sober than you do not, so... lately, but...
Yeah, but I've always been that way with water.
Yeah.
I've always just, like... It drives you bonkers how much fucking water things.
But I think for you, like, once you get home, until you've gone to bed, you don't switch to water. You get home and you stay on beer till bedtime. I don't, but I stop. Like, for me, I'll smoke a doob, and I'll do all my smoking and drinking before I eat, and then once I eat, I might roll another doob, and I might finish the can I opened before I ate. So once you've eaten, you don't want to drink anymore, really?
Never.
See, that's every alcoholic.
Thank you.
No, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just mean, like, that's something that I never really understood or realized. That, like, there's, like, a reason behind it. Like, anybody that I know that drinks, like, out of an addiction or, like, whatever reason... It's
all up until they eat.
And I wonder if it's more of a psychological thing.
100% it is.
Because I could drink, go out for dinner... eat, and then go out and continue to drink. Like, because it's, I think, a social thing. But I think when you have, like you said, you're talking about, between this window, so my demons come out. I think it's like, you battle with that.
I never once said demons, because
you
demons...
You used the word demons?
Nope.
Rewind.
Yeah, we can. I was like, I love
you don't want to fight those...
12 to 4, because I embrace everything that happens. That's my favorite point of the
you said embrace
day.
Those demons.
Yes, I love embracing those demons, because...
Okay.
Because, like, they're the thoughts, like, demons is in, like, my thoughts of creativity.
That's usually not what demons means. Here I am, like, you're going down a fighting your demons.
No.
Like,
yeah, okay, so now it makes sense that you were talking about
demons usually doesn't mean
alcohol.
A positive creative outlet.
No, because I think that all great art comes from, like, travesty. So, like, I'm like, it's at the point where I can okay, so everything that's worth doing art-wise comes from something that's like an inner turmoil you're trying to, like, correct the wrong of.
Sure.
So, like, you take your art, like we were talking about earlier with the ball gang. So, like, that painting comes from, like, you wishing that so many people would just shut their mouth unless they were being more positive. It's a harsh kind of, comes from harsh trauma. It comes from, like, trying to fight hate. So 12 to 4 is when I embrace demons that aren't putting me down at this point, because I'm on a level playing field and I'm like, fuck you, I'm going to turn this into a positive. Yeah. Which is where I create art.
Yeah. Interesting.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. I'm just more curious about, like, so, okay, the alcohol I get, fine, whatever, but, like, what is there about weed that you wouldn't care to quit? And I'm not saying it as, like, you should, because, like, you've watched me go through spouts of, like, not smoking, not smoking, and my reasons are always fucked, but, like,
why?
I also don't see my lifestyle fitting a completely sober person. Unless, obviously, like, factors prevent me from it, but...
No, I really like weed, and I would never not smoke weed unless it was, like, someone, like, that was a medical thing. It was like, you smoke weed again, you're gonna die, which I...
but overall, you like how it makes you feel.
Overall, like, it just makes me feel good. It makes music. It makes me kind of... It makes my brain hazy enough to believe that while I'm having a shower, that I can close my eyes and picture what it would be like to be in front of a crowd playing a show that I'm listening to on Spotify. Whereas if I'm not stoned, I'm like, I'm standing in a bathtub naked, just air guitaring by myself. This is stupid. I'm an idiot. Whereas if I'm stoned, I'm like, I can close my eyes and I'm just in that moment and feeling the same kind of endorphins I would from doing that.
Crazy.
Like, it just makes me feel really good. And I know it's just from, like, the intoxicant I have.
Yeah.
But it's just a break from reality where I can just... Everyone's loving it. Everyone in this room is having a great time listening to me sing this song, and I'm belting it out, and everyone's, like, loving this. There's a dude cheersing me, and I can just close my eyes, and because I have the intoxicant in me, I can feel that vibe. I can almost at points smell the room. I can smell, like, you know, cigarettes.
I think it's awesome that you have such, like, vivid little fantasy moments. I can't remember the last time I had one. Because, like, I say a lot of my dreams, but I don't feel my dreams.
Right.
Like how you just said, like, you can close your eyes. And I actually tried to do it last night or this morning. There was a point where I was actively aware, where I was like, okay, you keep talking all this shit about all the things that you want to do for yourself. Picture it. Manifest it. Think about it. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What do you listen to? Like, couldn't. And I was like, am I just too stoned? This is the problem? Like, I like weed and all, but I'm like, is some shit getting blocked or is it just stress? But I'm like, man, I haven't fucking just like pictured and envisioned what something looks like in a long time.
But see, and that's the thing. Like, I don't stop envisioning it, because then it's like like, to do a shout out to a couple like episodes ago. We were talking about how you're the kind of person that, like, you will only find happiness, or as you put it, in your one word answer.
Carefree.
Carefree. Love your body. Love you, Kevin. Like, that's where it is. Like, when I'm in the shower and I'm like, I know I could have that. I know that that's there. That's an option for me. I'm not pursuing it, but I know it's an option, and that makes me happy. Like, whereas with you, you have great things. You're like, man, I really want to do an art crawl. Mm-hmm. You did the art crawl. You have all these beautiful prints. You have this thing, and you're like, you went there with the intention, like you even said, you're like, I don't care about like them, like making, like, I'd love to make money, but I don't care. Money's not the thing. I want to go down and I want to learn to assess and move forward.
Expose
from what
myself
I learned.
into a little bit of.
And you accomplish that goal in every way, shape, and form.
100%. I didn't envision it though. I really can't. Like you're describing, like
but
I tried.
You can't envision what you don't have yet. I've had what I'm envisioning.
Okay, I guess.
Right, because you can't.
But I have done art crawl before. I didn't close my eyes and picture.
No. What I'm saying to you is this. I'm saying that, like, the success that you hope, you go down there and everyone in the world that has any kind of influence in Hamilton was like, this is the one stand. That was the best stand at Art Crawl. That's like the kind of thing, like, if that happened on Friday, right? Like, everyone in the world was like, this is the best stand. Like, you have a halo. The sun was cloudy everywhere else and just a beam.
Okay, all right. Thanks for the picture. I get
it. And that was all you had. And you had one night like that. You went back to the next Art Crawl and, it was mediocre or whatever.
Sure.
But being able to close your eyes and embrace that moment.
Yeah.
Would be great. Whereas I think part of what your sober brain does to you is it would rather beat the shit out of yourself for the next Art Crawl. It
Same
wasn't
with my
the
stone
best.
brain lately.
But see, that's not good. You can't do that. You have to like, what I like about, like, and there's other strains of weed that do the same thing to me, where, like, when I try to think of music, I'm like, well, yeah, you know why you're not doing it now is because you're not good enough.
Today was not a good day to smoke. I'm having a lot of, like, panic.
Yeah, that's not good.
I heard, like, that's the other problem, too, is, like, one of the things I hate so much about cannabis is, like, obviously the strain plays a huge factor, like indica, sativa, like, whatever. The amount. But then also, like, I don't know, I think mindset. Because there was a lot of times where I was like, if I was in a good mindset, I was like, you know what, I just want to have, like, a creative flow. And I was accepting and opening up it as, like, a celebratory thing to smoke. I was going to have if I set myself, I have the best day ever. I love it. I fucking love, like, something about, like, a Saturday morning with coffee and I've just freshly smoked and I know that I have the whole day to waste away to be creative. Love it. I just love to see where the day takes me. Then there's Sunday evenings where I gotta work and I'm like, keep checking the time and my brain is just racing and then I've smoked and now I feel like absolute garbage.
Right.
And like, I fucking hate that side of it.
Full disclosure, I knew that today was going to be, we were recording 2 podcasts. I knew today when I asked you last Tuesday to record a couple episodes today that it was going to be a struggle because you've had 4 days off and you've done a lot of shit in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
And you've beaten the shit out of yourself over the last 4 days where it was a vacation for you in the fact that you went and did things.
Yeah.
But you had no downtime in 4 days.
Well, and
so
yeah,
I know that
like,
your brain for the last, like, from noon today on was like,
from the moment I woke
tomorrow.
up.
Yeah, that's what
my
I mean.
day was already over.
So I knew that was there. So I pushed. I just wanted to push it through. So, like, I was very aware. So I hope we didn't come across, like, all during the conversations today that I was just being a dick, like, trying to get you to focus. I knew that.
No, but you're going to get a very shut down version of me once this is over.
Oh, I know that. That's why
So-
I'm super excited about playing video games, so I can just let
So
you
happy
walk
for
into
you.
what you're going to do, so you can make yourself more
Probably
open.
go cry.
Well, now you're just
No.
making me seem like I'm a fucking asshole.
Oh, not cry because of that. Cry because of my work week.
Yeah, but if I'm like, I'm going to play video games, and you're like, yeah, I know,
Oh,
and then
my God.
I'm gonna go cry. Like seriously?
I'm
Like,
sorry,
Are
I'm sorry.
you kidding me? Can you please get into that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, so back to the drugs thing, because that's what we were talking about.
Yes. I don't know where else you wanted to go with drugs.
Was weed more something that when you first did it, it was a peer pressure thing? Like you were, I assume you were peer pressured into weed when you were in your teens.
Curiosity. But I also knew that the person I was going to go hang out with, it was going to do it regardless. Did they personally put peer pressure on me? No. I put pressure on myself.
Right.
Because I wanted to be liked. But yeah, no, the first time I smoked, I was nervous, a little curious. Yeah, a little pressured.
So it's stuff like that that really...
Because my whole story with weed, like, I have so many stories about weed. Some I'll tell. I think I have a funny one. And some I'm like, nope, I'm good. Because I did, like, some crazy, like, I never did, like, hard drugs.
Right.
But I did some, like, weird shit stoned. Because, again, I had so much untreated anxiety.
Right.
When I was a teenager.
See,
One time, there was a group of kids that, like, the one girl who I smoked weed with for the first time, it was her, like, group of friends, or she knew of somebody. And they had a shed. So, like, we're talking, like, 16, maybe.
Yeah.
And their parents also were smokers.
Yeah.
So, there was literally a shed, like I'm going to say a 6x6 shed.
Yep.
And then she was like, oh, we're going to go to this guy's house and we're going to smoke, blah, 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 whatever. And it was also my first time smoking out a bong.
Right.
So we go into this shed, and it's the middle of winter. So we're like coats, boots, whatever, and we're all bundled up, and we go into this shed, and there's egg cartons, like, all over the wall. So I'm like, hey, this guy, like, his parents let him jam here.
Yeah.
There was two, backseat car seats that were ripped out of, like, a car
Yeah,
to
just like
sit
a back
on.
of a van, yeah.
And then in the middle of the floor was a freaking 4-foot, 5-foot bong. And it was like all these kids, we were all just teenagers. And so they're passing it around, and it gets to my turn. And the girl that I was smoking with, she was like, obviously she knew, so she like lit it for me, and then she told me what to do. She's like, okay, inhale, fucking cough a fit. And that's it. We only stayed for like a few minutes. Then we left because I was sleeping over at her house that night. And her and I were so high, and it was a little bit of a blizzard. So, like, the snow is just blowing in our face, and we walked around the same block twice.
Just so you didn't go home fucking
No, because we got lost. we walked twice, and then when we passed the sign a second time, we were like, oh, were we supposed to go straight instead of right? Because we would have just kept going in a square.
That's super funny.
So anyways, eventually got to our house, and it was fine, and we were stoned, and we probably watched movies, ate popcorn, went to bed. But, like, yeah, there was, like, stupid shit like that, where in high school, we would smoke weed, like, off the field. So there was a park with this really tall, like, grass.
Yeah.
It was all, like, burnt. Grass for, like, a little field. And it was all smashed down into, like, a circle in the middle of the field, because kids would go through, like, the corn thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so we had just finished smoking. Evidence gone. Like, joint probably flicked off somewhere. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we hear, like, this man rustling through going, here, boy. Then walks up towards us. Then starts saying, like, hey, I lost my dog. I can't find my dog. Have you seen him? So we're like, no, man. Like, what dog? Like, we're fucking baked, right? Then it got sketchy, because all of a sudden, he was like, no, yeah, I've been looking everywhere for him. So what are you kids doing out here? And I was like, fucking cop. Like, it was like, we were like, either you're like a principal, you're security, you're a cop, you are somebody that randomly went into this field. So I was like, I think the school caught on to, like, kids are smoking.
Or it's just some dude in the neighborhood that watches his back 40 and then saw that happening and was like kind of a pedo and wanted you to admit that you're smoking weed so he could be like, hey, girls, come over to my
No, I was with
backyard.
guys. It wasn't just girls.
Sure. But
Yeah,
to
it was
say
like
to the
maybe
girl,
one girl
but
and, like,
they know
3
that the
guys.
girls are there because the boys scored weed.
Yeah.
So, him being someone who has unlimited supply that you don't need to hide in a field, you can sit in a comfortable backyard.
Oh, true. I never thought about that.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
I thought cop. I was like,
No, I thought more pedo.
because that's the other thing too. It was like a city park. Like, it was like in between a park and the school. It was just like a random unkept field.
Yeah.
But, like,
yeah,
that
I
nobody-
100% went more pedo than, like, especially
I never
here.
did see that dog.
How many times do you hear people getting kidnapped and shit when, like, you want to see a puppy?
Yeah. Hey, I've been looking for my dog.
So I'm looking for my dog that never clued in. You know how, like, you, like, hear, like...
We just got up and walked away.
We should watch more, like, public service announcements so you can learn, like, the safety of good touch, bad touch.
Yeah,
like,
so
what
funny.
the fuck's wrong with you?
I was like, I don't know, I was like 15.
15's way too old to be like, I was only 15. The I was only stops at 9.
Dude, I was so stoned, I just thought, like, I was fucking paranoid. I was being a heat bag.
Do you know the first time? I love the fact that you use the word heat bag.
Oh, because that's what we got called all the, like, in school all the time.
How come when I first...
No, I knew heat bag.
Not when we first met. You
Yeah,
didn't.
I did. Don't be a heat bag.
Not when we first met. I called you a heat bag, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I needed to go through what a heat bag was to you, or a heat score.
Oh, maybe I know, but I knew heat bag.
That's so funny. You've interjected that into what you would call those people, but 100% when I first said that to you, it's one of the first expressions I said to you that you were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because you had, like, grabbed a doob out when we were somewhere, and I'm like, quit being a fucking heat bag. And you're like, what? And I'm like, you're fucking doob. And you're like, what?
I could have sworn that we called each other that in school.
No, you didn't. What, from my recollection, I could be wrong. I don't know. I smoke a lot of weed.
Fuck.
So here's my question before we go. And Monster's looking at the pigeon. The baby pigeons are trying to fly off the balcony right now.
Wonderful.
That's why the cats are going crazy. So here's my last question. Pop quiz. When was the first time I smoked weed, and what circumstance was it? I've told you this a bunch of times. And you remember we were talking about in the last episode how I'm like, I don't think you listen to me. I've told you this story at least.
It was your shoulder. It was your shoulder.
That was the reason I smoked weed the first time.
I'm so stoned right now, I don't even know.
Okay, so you can use stoned as the excuse. But I'm going to tell you. So the first time I ever smoked weed, it was with a dude I worked at a rehab facility. And I'd blown out my shoulder, and I went back to his place, and we smoked weed. I smoked weed for the first time. Very scared, but I smoked weed for the first time, and I watched Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I've told you that 1,000 times.
Sure you have. Oh, just the weed talking.
Nope, 100% I've told you that. So, like, because every single time that I talked about Pink Floyd's The Wall, which I bought the DVD, lent it to your sister, never seen it since. And that was like 10 years ago. And I remember when I gave it to you, I'm like, this is the first movie I ever watched when I got stoned. It was like the perfect, like, you know, like old hippie vibe of like get stoned, watch Pink Floyd's The Wall. Right.
And
yeah, and I rolled her a doob and gave her my copy of The Wall and never saw The Wall again. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we'll leave it at that.
Sounds good. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'd be interesting to hear, like, anybody that's had like a funny stoner experience, or like maybe the first time you tried it, maybe you don't smoke but you did have a funny experience, or maybe you used to and you liked it and then you stopped. Why'd you stop? I'd be curious to know. Also, like, leave us a voicemail message on our or if you don't have that and you have our cell phone, just leave a fucking voicemail on one of our cell phones with you explaining the first time you smoked weed. I'd love to hear that. We'll use it in a segment, but yeah, send us that information. If you're this far into the podcast, you probably know us and you want to enjoy this. So throw it in. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. You just listened to 300 Happy Meals worth of a podcast. If you're picking up what we're putting down, flick that reminder on so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Follow us on social media, and if you tell a friend about us, we'll tell our cats about you. Until next time, keep your chin up, your coffee strong, and remember, this little podcast runs on good vibes and even better listeners like you.